Kiana Sage, and today I wanted to talk about, how conditioned habits can create energetic blocks. And I think it's okay. And a lot of people don't understand that what a conditioned habit is. And this is something that happens when, obviously we live in a society that has societal conditioning that happens. And that means that you are doing it because you've known it to be done that way, or you see other people do it, and since they're doing it, you do it, and you kind of adapt these habits that are bad, and they become part of your lifestyle. And because you don't have an acute awareness to the impacts of those, you don't know that they're creating energetic blocks. So what I thought I would do today is give a list of what are some of the conditioned ways of being that create energetic blocks. And then you can kind of just go from there to decide how you might shift it. I will be totally honest with you that, a lot of these bad habits are conditioned as lifestyle, and myself included. Like, I had a very high stress lifestyle for many, many years. And that was just my life. I thought that's how it had to do what I was doing, to consult where I was consulting, to work with the types of executives that I was working with. It was a very high stress, as a woman in a field that's predominantly male. Getting results required an aptitude of diligence that most men don't have to do, in my experience. And so I was really just in a very high stress environment, which created other conditions. So high stress is one of the conditions that we just kind of learn to accept. And really, it's conditioned into us to accept that we work a lot of hours, 10, 12 hours. I would easily work 14 to 16 hour days. And I loved what I was doing, but that's very stressful on the body, on the mind, on the spirit. And that's a condition that, without work, who are you? And that becomes part of your identity. The other thing that is a conditioned way of responding is catastrophizing, where you kind of think about the worst case scenario and you operate in that aspect. And that might boil into some other things like anxiety or lying. Lying is another aspect that becomes conditioned. And so when we do these things without awareness, it becomes part of the identity, and it becomes part of what people know themselves to be. So for example, people who often have a diagnosis of some type, I won't even go into it, but there was a trend for a while where people would put in their names. I'm on LinkedIn often, and they would title, what their diagnosis was as who they were. And so that's a misidentification of who you are. Hello, everybody who just joined. Welcome. So when we have these misidentifications, it's because we're unaware of our true identity and who we really are. And it's really important to know who you are at your core. Has nothing to do with what you are doing, and it has everything to do with who you are being. So when you start to unwind these conditioned behaviors, what happens is you'll release energetic blocks. Because what most people don't have an awareness of is that when we have bad habits, that create habits like lying, habits like misidentification, it creates energetic blocks, which creates dead energy, which I've talked about in other videos. I think I was last week. So you could go check that out. And it does nothing but deplete you. And it takes away from your life force energy. And not only that, it keeps you twisted in this loop of other condition, which creates more blocks. So it's like a do loop of unfortunate, unchecked unawareness. So what you want to do is become aware of what are your conditioned habits. You know, do you take, maybe it's something as simple as taking the same route to work every week, or maybe it's as simple as lying to your boss, or lying to your partner, or lying to your friends, like you're in the habit. Or maybe you have a conditioning of fight or flight, where you're always in a state of vigilance, hypervigilance. You know, I've been there before. That is no fun, and that's a conditioned aspect of your lifestyle that must be identified. And then once you identify it, then you can unwind from that and start to release those blocks. And what that will do is going to expand your perspective, it's going to expand your opportunities, and it's going to expand your potentials for new timelines. Hi, Paula. Sorry that you're stressed out of your mind. Maybe that'll get you back into your body, because you want to be out of your mind and in your body. This is all about being in alignment and being in sync. And if you're stressed out from your conditioned habits, that's telling you you got some things going on that need to be unhooked, so you can re-identify with who you truly are. Because who you truly are is a child of God. You are an aspect of the divine in this physical body, and that is your true identity. So anything that the mind is twisting and turning, you want to unhook from that. That's why it's so important to look at your behaviors and your beliefs, and start to unhook from those beliefs that are misaligned. So if you're one of those people, or you have friends, I have friends that'll misidentify themselves all the time. And what that does is that it shuts down your higher sensory abilities to connect with who you truly are. So the most important thing is to just become aware of what your daily habits are, and then start to decide consciously, like, do I want to continue doing this? Does this serve who I am? Does this serve who I'm becoming? Is this in alignment with being in sync? Is this in alignment with my integrity? And when you start to ask these questions, it will change how you see yourself, and it will help you to adjust and realign to your true identity within yourself. You know, the outside is not who you are. These things that you do is not who you are. Your job is not who you are. It is an expression of who you are. And so you want to start to tap in to how you're expressing yourself, and really consciously decide, are these behaviors and these habits really misdirecting you in ways that doesn't serve you anymore? Any questions about this topic? It's kind of different and unique. Any questions? I think the biggest thing for me, when I had the realization that somebody said, this is how you're going to be, and I had gained a lot of weight, and my body had changed so drastically, I didn't really recognize myself. And I went to go to get a massage, and the masseuse is like, this is just who you are, you just have to accept it. And I was like, this body isn't even who I am. It's like it's a way of expressing. So if I want to express myself differently, I can. And I just simply have to change my habits, which are aligning to this way of expressing that doesn't match. And so I think that's what's important to know is like we're always matching, we are always resonating with, we're always resonating. And when you look at your habits, you can see how you're resonating, and then you can decide, like, do I want to continue on this path? And if not, how can I change that? And I think that's the question. Is like, we're always able to shift and change. It's just, are you willing to make the choices that align with shifting and changing? Anyways, I hope that this was helpful in some way for you. My name is Kiana, and I guide people to peace. I will be back tomorrow for more Being in Sync for this 366 video series. Oh, I just got a message asking, what does resonating mean? Resonating is a frequency which we are always operating in energetically. And when we have habits and conditioned habits, that they create blocks in how we resonate. So we might have a preference to resonate with a high frequency, but because we're hooked into these bad habits, it keeps us in this misalignment, and then we misidentify ourselves. So I hope that was helpful for you. Happy birthday, Jaden. All right. I hope you guys have a great day. Take care. I'm Kiana Sage, and I guide people to peace. Reach out, leave a comment, thumbs up. Wishing you all a great day. Bye.